America still the world's policeman? That's a question that's thrown around a lot, especially these days. Look at the headlines. You see conflict in Europe, turmoil in the Middle East, rising tensions in Asia. It feels like the world is pulling the United States in a dozen different directions at once. For decades, the default answer was simple: America would say. Is that still the case? Let's be clear, the United States hasn't suddenly lost its military might. When you look at the raw numbers, the budget, the technology, the sheer global reach of its forces, no other country comes close. We're talking about a military with bases scattered across the globe, a Navy that patrols every ocean, an Air Force that can project power anywhere on Earth in hours. The resources are, without a doubt, still there. So if the hardware is still top of the line, let's jump in. The real shift isn't in capability, but in calculus. It's about political patience and strategic awareness. A person might have enough money to buy it, but they still have to decide what's actually worth their time and attention. For the United States, the post-Cold War era of undisputed sole superpower, ready to intervene in every regional squabble, is fading. The political appetite back home for endless foreign entanglements has run thin. Decades of war in the Middle East have taken a toll, not just on the military, but on the national psyche. So what we're seeing now isn't a decline of American power, but a reprioritization. The focus is shifting. Washington is looking at the world map and asking who truly prioritizes. Where can our allies step in? The grand strategy is moving to being the first responder for every single fire, the chief who directs resources and how global fire targets. This brings us to the biggest challenge. Are America's allies ready for this new reality? For decades, many countries have comfortably outsourced a large part of their security to the United States. This American security umbrella allowed them to focus on their economies and domestic issues. But now the message from Washington is changing. It's not, we're leaving, but rather, you need to pull your own weight. We're seeing this in Europe, where there's a renewed push for NATO members to meet their defense spending targets. We're seeing it in Asia, where the US is strengthening alliances with countries like Japan, South Korea, and Australia, not just to lead them, but to partner with them in maintaining regional stability. The core of the issue is that the world is no longer unipolar. We're in a multipolar environment with multiple major players, like China and Russia, actively challenging the existing order. In this new landscape, the US can't afford to be everywhere all the time with maximum force. Trying to do so would stretch its resources too thin and risk getting bogged down in secondary conflicts, while a more significant threat emerges elsewhere. The strategic pivot to Asia, for example, is a clear signal that countering China's influence is now a top priority. This means that resources and attention that might have once gone to other regions are being reallocated. So, when a crisis erupts, the question in the White House and the Pentagon is no longer just, can we intervene? But should we intervene? And at what cost? The US is becoming more selective. It will still act decisively when its core national interests are at stake, things like freedom of navigation, the security of its key allies, and preventing the rise of a hostile power that could dominate a critical region. But for other issues, the approach is more likely to be diplomatic pressure, economic sanctions, or providing support for regional partners to take the lead. This transition is understandably creating anxiety among allies. They're worried about American reliability. Will the US show up if things get really bad? The answer is likely yes, but the definition of really bad is being reevaluated. The era of America writing a blank check for global security is over. The new era is one of strategic choices and shared responsibilities. So, to answer the original question, is America still the world's policeman? Yes, but it's a different kind of police force now. It's less of a beat cop walking every street, and more of a strategic commander choosing which battles to fight. The US still has the biggest military, the most powerful economy, and a network of alliances that is unparalleled. It hasn't abdicated its role as a global leader, but it is redefining what that leadership looks like in the 21st century. The challenge for the rest of the world is to adapt to this new, more selective, and more strategic America. The global security architecture is being rewired, and every nation will have to find its new place within it. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis interesting, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into global affairs. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.